Hey, Owen, what's up, man? I'm a big fan of yours. I'm Stein, calling from New Jersey. I was watching a recent video a couple of days ago where you were mentioning that a Christian can go to college, okay, and learn to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist, but being a pastor or a Christian alone does not qualify you for that because mental health, yes, is a science. Unfortunately, about 15 years ago, before I was able to see a private doctor, I used to be in the mental health system, and I had to go for group therapy at the outpatient services of a general hospital. Now, this, by the way, not, mind you, is a secular hospital. Unfortunately, we had one therapist there who happened to be the supervisor of therapists, who was a Christian fanatic, who used to use group therapy as a tool to push her religion on the patients. And that was unfortunate. All right, let me up.
Yeah, I appreciate that phone call. I actually went to group therapy for addiction forever ago, like, years and years ago, because I was addicted to heroin, as I'm sure most people in my audience probably know. I now take Suboxone for it. But when I was in group therapy, I was actually going to school for substance abuse counseling at the same time. But one of the group therapists at the facility actually started getting really political with us. And I was like super surprised by this. Obviously, I'm a fairly liberal guy. I supported Bernie Sanders in the 2016 election. Didn't get him, so I held my nose and voted for Hillary Clinton. I think that's pretty much what all of Hillary's voters did. This time around, I voted for Biden. I just think that Democrats tend to be more helpful to the societal groups that I identify with. For example, Democrats tend to be better on issues regarding atheism, especially considering the fact that the evangelical voting bloc is driving the ship that is the Republican Party at this moment. Democrats are also more helpful in addiction issues. Anyways, the point is, I was in group therapy with this therapist, and she starts endorsing Republican candidates. This is in the 2016 election. She's like, you should take a look at Chris Christie. He's said some interesting things about the war on drugs and marijuana. I was like, are you fucking kidding me with this? Chris Christie is a monster. We know this now, but we knew it back then too. The dude is a complete shill. I considered trying to do something about that because as a therapist, that's a complete breach of ethics. Like, it is so wrong for her to have done that, to suggest political candidates to us. She is in a position of authority over us. I mean, our mental health is in her hands, and she's doing this shit. It's wrong. We're in a mentally and emotionally vulnerable situation, and we're supposed to have trust for this authority figure, this therapist. There's a power dynamic at play here. Endorsing a political candidate like that is wrong, period. So I thought about doing something about this, contacting somebody, some board, to get her license revoked, because that's not the only thing that she did. She did other shit that was really fucked up too. And before I could get in contact with the board, her husband actually died in a tragic accident. I understand he had like an aneurysm or something, and it was just like that, just gone all of a sudden. Lucky for her, she had life insurance on him, and she got filthy rich and quit her job. Understandable. I don't know that. I certainly wouldn't want to work through that grief. I would probably want to take the time to grieve at the very least. And why work when you've got like $1 million anyways? Either way, I'm glad she's out of the field, at least for now. But I've had some really bad experiences with therapists in the past, and it's been pretty depressing to me to know that these people are still out there. having the psychology background that I do, I kind of feel like maybe I'm duty bound to do something about that, but I don't know. At least that one isn't out there abusing the power dynamic anymore.